What's up, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, got something from BOLDR Supply Company. Want to show it to you. This one is their BOLDR Explorer Black. And this is, well, comes in a nice little fabric hard-sided case here with BOLDR Supply Company emblazoned on it. This is available right now. You can check it out at their watch called BOLDR Supply Co. And we've checked out some BOLDR watches before, and I've really liked them. You know, and I think they offer a lot of style and value for the money, which is always kind of the most important piece. So there it is, man. There's your first peek at the BOLDR Explorer Black. Now, as I was saying here, before we get into this watch too much, I think there are two other versions. One kind of in a raw metal case, and then one also called Stealth, which looks just like this, but all of these pieces here that you see in white or luminous color are blacked out. Now, I don't know if that blacked out is lume, but either way, it all looks blacked out. So this one obviously is a black dial in a black stainless steel case. It has white indexes with lume. And I'll roll in some footage of that because typically the lume on these watches have been pretty good, and especially with these big sword style hands there, those should light up pretty nicely. Obviously, it comes with a black canvas strap with a nubuck leather lining, I believe. Be BOLDR right there. So that should be really comfortable. It'll feel like a leather strap on your wrist, but it'll look like a canvas, almost like a black denim to everyone else. Nice and thick, but really comfy looking and feeling. It uses the Ronda 505 movement here, and it's a GMT, and that's what makes this kind of pretty interesting. You don't see GMTs a lot. Obviously, it's a quartz movement, ticking seconds hand there. Crown protectors, protecting the crown with some pretty big knurling on it. This is what the back of the watch looks like with a world map printed on the back. It's an Explorer. Screw on back here. Lugs are pretty standard looking. Some curvature. Nice finish. Kind of a distinct marrying to the case there. We do have the quick release spring bars. And then you also have some, just like on the crown, some of these kind of big lugs around the bezel. And then everything is, including the crystal on the top, which is a scratch-resistant hardened mineral crystal. Crystal is all flat. And so I wanted to go back to the crown here, BOLDR logo inscribed on it to test it out. So we have a screw-down crown there, just popped out. And what if I pull it out here? We are in date mode. So if you can see there, we've got a date window right above the 6 o'clock position. It's black lettering on white background, so it really stands out. And then if I pull it out one more time here, we can go to time setting mode. So I can go ahead and set the time. And you'll notice that the GMT hand, which is this orange hand, is also moving relative to your local time hand, right? So what we have here, let me see if I can get it lined up. So if I go all the way, say, to noon, and this is representing, then you would tell the time on the second, the orange hand here, with using this outer ring, which is a 24-hour ring. And so the position before setting the time, where I was showing you I can adjust the date by rotating clockwise, if I rotate counterclockwise, or anti-clockwise, as the British say, I think what we'll get here is adjusting the GMT hand. So what you want to do is you want to set it to your time zone first, and then you want to move the GMT hand to the other time zone. And the reason is because once you get to your time, it's going to move that GMT hand. So let's say this is correct. It's about 12:12 right now, and I want to keep time in my Los Angeles office at New Line Cinemas or something like that, which would be 10:12. So I'd roll up here to 10, and looks like each of these markings would be about 20 minutes because this is 10 and that's 11. So just about there. And then if I push it back in, I tighten the crown down, now I can tell at a glance what time it is where I'm at, what time it is in my target time zone, and there you go. Now, of course, telling the time in your second time zone is not going to be super precise. You know, you're going to have to ballpark it a little bit. It's kind of like a single hand watch, you know, like I showed you on those Pharaohs. It does keep time accurately, but it's really kind of hard to know exactly where it falls on the minutes, just like GMT. I really love GMT watches. I think they're super cool. I love being able to kind of ballpark a time in another time zone. I don't really need it, especially when you can just ask Siri what time it is in a different place and pretty much any place in the world, but it is pretty cool, and if you're a traveler, it could be really useful. So that's all I'll say on that. Now, 42 millimeter marine grade stainless steel key, screw down crown, as I showed you. I also want to say that I think it's a physical vapor distillation IP coating on here, so it should be really, really really durable and scratch resistant. Lug to lug, it's 50 millimeters, and the band is 20 millimeters, and then it's only 12.5 millimeters thick. So if we just show this on the wrist here, and not a huge watch, 42 millimeters, not a small watch either, and water resistant to 5 atmospheres, so you should be able to not only wear this around on your trips, but then you should also be able to not necessarily sweat getting it wet. I probably wouldn't do a lot of diving and extreme activity with it per se, but now I will say I have about a 7.5 inch wrist. It doesn't give me a lot of extra band. This is probably where I'd wear it. It's a little loose, but that's how I like it. So if you like your watch a little tighter, it could be a little different for you. Obviously, those quick release bars make it nice to swap it out quickly, but man, this is what it looks like on the wrist, and I think it looks great, man. Just a cool, sporty looking, rugged watch, but not overbearing, not super large like a lot of sport watches tend to be. And man, I think, it looks great. Looks great. Another great product by BOLDR. I've been really impressed by them. And then lastly, let's say save the best for last year and talk about the pricing. I want to say this is about a $200 watch, so it's not that expensive. I think you get the proven Swiss-made Ronda movement, GMT functionality, a really slick looking watch. You can get in a couple different variations if you want, but I think that's just a ton of value for the watches that you're getting, and the BOLDR watches certainly get a thumbs up from me. So check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter Von Panda out.